Mm. Mm.
There really was. I'm not kidding. That's not the Hurleys? Man, I don't know how to AMC. I think it'll run. She'll run. She'll run. She'll run. The more I talk, the harder I'm going to make this for myself in post. So I'll just cut all this out. Yeah. I'm not cutting any of this out. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs out here. No, I just established all the wires and trying to make a good connection on it. There's a big fucking spider underground. I did. Dang. Yeah, go ahead, Luke. That's stupid. Are you kidding me?
I want penis right now.
Nearly died. Hey, it's JC car. Nice. Just put a little Bondo over that, and we'll be good to go. You got rust on your teeth. How? I mean, it'll run, probably. Is what you say? Is that right? Oh, no. She'll run. No, she'll run. She'll run. I try not to say that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, you can peel the belt off. You guys want a belt? You can win it. Or comment in the comments your favorite belt flavor. And this can be yours. Whoa! You know what's good about this? Because this time we got that 60 frames per second. So right now we're going to do a nice slow motion of Luke exploding.
YouTube.
Extra ugly face, I'm sure.
When Trump called COVID the Kung flu, he unleashed a wave of hate.
Someone who promotes xenophobia should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Junkyard Digs. Today you join us in the truck a few minutes late for a destination where we're heading to pick up a car I've been keeping it a secret. Vegas. Is it that bad? Yes. No. It'll be dumb. I have no idea what we're going to do with it. All I know is that it is unique and $800. $800. How dumb can it be? Let's go pick her up and kick this one off. Whatever it's gonna be. Oh, jeez, there we go. Alright, we're gonna drive it later. It appears we've arrived. I wonder if I can pick it up. I don't know if I can point it out. All this stuff up here looks kind of like normal traffic. Is this like a normal car? Isn't that horse? We were riding a boat. Propane tank? Isn't that Cadillac limo? Why? I mean, you learned your lesson. It is not a 35-foot limo again. What are you doing? Why? For an $800 Cadillac. An extra Cadillac. We never had a guy. Yeah, there's a reason. We haven't found $800. Look at this.
Want a caddy?
I don't even know what that means. Black leather interior. Oh, hell yeah. Look at it. It's so bad. Oh, my God. But we can fit all two of our friends in here. Oh, I'm driving up on all. Look, here it is. What's he been running about? How is it today? smells funny, but honestly, it's really comfy. It's way more comfortable than the other limo. This is a factory limo, dude. This is vastly superior. I think. I don't know. Better say by Hessen Eisenhardt. It's got a digital fuel injection system. The worst part is the $840 motor. They were one of the motors of all time. What?
How it's made.
When it comes to cuisine, some like it hot. A quick way to satisfy a piquant-loving palate is with a splash or two of hot sauce, typically served with Mexican foods such as nachos, tacos, Historically, wheels were made of metal or wood. With the invention of air-filled car tires in the early part of the 20th century, the ride was revolutionized. The inflated rubber tires could better absorb the bumps on the road, and the addition of tread gave the invention serious traction. Car tires have come a long way in the last century. The modern summer tire is made of 10 to 15 different components, which include natural and synthetic rubber, chemical additives, and carbon black, a pigment. Giant blenders mix these ingredients under heat and tremendous pressure. There are various formulations for different parts of the tire. In each case, the result is gummy rubber dough, which machinery then rolls into sheets to await further kneading and processing. Polyester fabric unrolls into a machine called a calender. The calender is equipped with rollers that apply rubber to both sides of the fabric. This produces a rubberized fabric that will be used to reinforce the tire. This fabric ply is needed because rubber alone isn't sturdy enough to make a tire. Numerous cotton cords now spin off buttons simultaneously. Machinery pulls them onto the warm rubberized fabric. They land on a bit of an angle and adhere. This cording creates channels that provide pathways for venting air during the actual tire building. Making rubber for tread requires 3 different rubber formulations. Extruders shape the 3 streams of rubber, and then they enter a die that forms them into one. Many paint rollers apply different colored stripes. It's a coating system for identification of the ingredients during processing. To avoid tension, the system creates slack in the feed. A blade slices the tread rubber to length. Next, many steel cables uncoil at once to make the bead, the part of the tire that gives it the strength it needs to stay on the wheel rim. Machinery arranges the cables in the desired configuration and encases them in rubber. More equipment rolls the bead material into hoops, sized to fit the wheel rim. They're now ready to build the tire. Using a special rotating drum, a worker arranges the 2 bead hoops on it. Next up is an airtight piece of rubber that will act as an inner tube, followed by the corded ply. Inflated bladders roll the rubber around the bead on both sides and then retract. A server applies sidewalls to the beads. Little rollers fold the sidewalls over the beads. This completes the inner part or skeleton of the tire. They assemble the outer layers separately, beginning with strips of rubber embedded with steel cord. The system wraps this rubber around the second tire building drum. Next up are narrow strips of rubber ply. The computerized system winds them with just the right amount of tension for a graduated effect. They're now ready for the last layer, the tread rubber. Machinery applies it to the ply. It's time for the 2 tire fabrications to become one. A transfer ring collects the assembly and transfers it to the inner part. Compressed air inflates the tire to shape it, and all the sticky layers adhere together.
Okay.
folds the edge of the tread rubber over the sidewalls. They now have what's known in the industry as a green tire, a secure tire without tread patterns. Next, it's into a mold to bake and shape the tire. The two parts of the mold come together like a waffle iron. Inside, hot steamy bladders expand to shape the tire and transfer the tread pattern. This specific tread pattern is designed for summer tires. This cutout of a car tire demonstrates how all the layers have been fused together. The time in the hot pressurized mold has caused the rubber to vulcanize, a chemical reaction that transforms it from a weak and sticky substance to one that's strong and elastic. A worker trims excess rubber. After final inspections confirm the tire shape is uniform and geometrically correct, the tire is ready for shipment. It's time for the rubber to hit the road.
Gas electric, Electroline. Toyota set the standard for hybrid technology, all starting with the Prius 24 years ago. Now it's more innovative than ever before. Enjoy an eco-friendly journey with no need to ever plug in. Self-charging, responsive power, quiet ride, reduced emissions, and up to 54 LPG. Toyota offers more hybrids than any other brand. 19 pack from sporty cars, versatile SUVs, and powerful trucks. Check out our electrified lineup at Metro Toyota today.
Indy cars are open cockpit race cars that compete in the annual Indianapolis 500 race in the U.S. The cars are entirely custom built. Even the driver's seat is specially contoured to the driver's body shape and position in which he or she sits most comfortably in the car. The custom-made driver's seat in an Indy car is made of fire-resistant fabric over impact-absorbing foam. It has openings at the shoulder, lap, and legs for the safety harness. To make the seat, they first have to produce a template, which is in itself a two-day process. Technicians prepare, then pour an adhesive into a bag full of foam beads. The adhesive contains resin and a hardener. Once the adhesive seeps in, they squeeze out the air and tie the bag closed. They knead the bag to spread the adhesive over all the foam beads inside. Next, laying the bag flat, they spread the adhesive-saturated beads in an even layer. Then they install a valve. Attach it to a vacuum pump and suction out most of the remaining air. They shape a cavity in the middle to fit the driver's body. Once they vacuumed out enough air to make the bag tight enough to hold the shape of this cavity, they place it in the race car's cockpit, pressing the foam beads as snugly as possible into all the nooks and crannies. This ensures the car seat will fit properly and not shift under the driver. The driver now has to sit in the car so they can custom contour the template to his body in the driving position. Once he's settled comfortably with hips and shoulders square and wearing his helmet, they begin taking measurements, starting with the height of his head, critical for aerodynamics, and of his sightline over the hood, critical for safety. Both measurements must conform with the Racing Association's strict regulations. They also measure the distance between his chest and the steering wheel and ensure there's adequate leg clearance to enter and exit the cockpit. The driver sits down, gets out, gets back in several times as the technicians measure and make adjustments. The entire process takes about 40 minutes. When it's all done, they run the vacuum for another 4 hours and let the foam cure overnight. The next morning, they use a hot knife to melt a line through the foam and dislodge the template from the cockpit. The driver returns for a final 2 to 3 hour sitting, during which the techs trim the foam as closely as possible to this body contour. The shape now finalized, they cover the entire surface with cloth adhesive tape and a matte finish. This creates a non-reflective background suitable for laser scanning. Onto this dull surface, they adhere positioning targets, reflective dots spaced 4 inches apart that create a grid pattern over the entire template. The 3D laser scanner reads these reflective dots. That a computer translates into a 3D image. Specialized software then converts this image into a technical drawing, which guides an automated router to cut the C parts out of polypropylene foam. This precision cutting process takes 4 to 6 hours. The router cuts out 6 to 8 sections, which technicians then carefully glue together into the full seat. They cover the finished seat in fire retardant material, first applying the fabric with spray adhesive, then trimming it to the shape of the seat. This foam is quite elastic, so it absorbs impact and protects the driver. At the same time, it has memory, so after a blow, it regains its driver customized shape. A dragster's tires take quite a beating during the brief but fast run down the racetrack. The tires have to face full-on acceleration right out of the starting gate, then heavy-duty braking after the finish line, with the car deploying a rear parachute and slowing to an eventual stop. A drag race is the ultimate automotive sprint, with rapid acceleration to speeds topping 310 miles per hour. Optimal tire traction can give a car the winning edge. Dragster tires, for most cars, are made from rubber, which hasn't been cured to a firm and permanent state. For most